Hello, and welcome to the Gamer's Closet. I'm your host, Douglas Weed, and today we're going to be talking about Chopper Strike. Chopper Strike is a game manufactured in 1976 by Milton Bradley. It runs for about 30 minutes of game time, is rated for 2 players, and for ages 8 and up. But let's dig into it a little further, shall we? In 1976, Chopper Strike was released by Milton Bradley. Chopper Strike is a 3-dimensional military strategy game for 2 players. Each player's force consists of 6 choppers and 6 jeeps, or mobile AA gun carriers. Players move combinations of choppers in the air and jeeps on the board in an attempt to destroy each other's forces. This game has 2 different editions. The Milton Bradley edition and the John Sands Australian edition were both released in 1976. This game does come with multiple pieces. It comes with a rules book, a game board, 2 plastic sky levels for above the game board, 6 plastic legs to hold up the sky, 6 tan jeeps, 6 tan helicopters, 6 green jeeps, 6 green helicopters, and 2 dice, one 6-sided and the other one with the numbers 1, 2, and 3 on it. To set up this game, place the board lengthwise between the players. Refer to this picture as an example. Place your choppers on any space on the back row, the spaces near you, on the upper plastic level. Place your jeeps on any space on the back row on the game board. Jeeps may be placed on a space directly under a chopper. The player with the light-colored force moves first, and players take turn rolling the 2 dice. The black numbered die determines the number of playing pieces, choppers, or jeeps that may be moved. The spotted dice determines the number of spaces that each piece must move. Choppers must always move on spaces on the upper level plastic platform. Jeeps must always move on the board spaces. Choppers may move on to all spaces across the hills, lakes without restriction. Jeeps may not move across the hills or lakes, unnumbered squares near the center of the board. Jeeps may cross into an opponent's side of the board by passing between the hills or lakes. Choppers may jump a space occupied by one of their own choppers or an enemy chopper, not diagonally, provided there is an empty space beyond. Jeeps must not jump other jeeps. 2 pieces on either level, choppers or jeeps, may not occupy the same space at the end of a move. Players may choose to move choppers only, jeeps only, or combinations of both. Choppers and jeeps may move in any direction, but not diagonally. They may turn corners, go forward, backward, and sideways, but cannot move back and forth over the same 2 spaces in a turn. A player must move the number of spaces and the number of pieces rolled on the dice. If you have fewer pieces than the dice allows moving, you move only what you can. If a chopper during a move jumps over an opponent's chopper, it destroys the opponent's chopper. Destroyed choppers are removed from the game. A chopper may jump its own choppers without causing damage. If a chopper ends their move on a space next to an enemy chopper, they may jump and destroy the enemy chopper, providing there's an open space on the other side. A space occupied by a chopper being destroyed is not counted as a space of the move. A chopper may destroy 1, 2, or more enemy choppers in a single turn. If a chopper ends their move directly over an opponent's jeep, the jeep is bombed and removed from the game. The chopper player must call hit to destroy the jeep, or the jeep is not bombed and remains in the game. In a jeep versus chopper combat, if a jeep ends their turn directly under an opponent's chopper, the chopper is shot down by anti-aircraft fire and removed from the game. The jeep player must call hit, or the chopper is not destroyed and remains in the game. If a jeep is directly under a chopper at the beginning of a turn because the chopper player did not call hit, then the jeep player may call hit and destroy the chopper before they roll their die and take their turn. The chopper player may destroy a jeep in the same manner as I've just described if the jeep is left under a chopper without the jeep player calling a hit. A jeep can destroy an opponent's jeep by ending their turn on the same space occupied by an opponent. To win the game, Chopper Strike can be won in either of the 2 conditions. A player destroys all of their opponent's choppers, or a player destroys all of their opponent's jeeps. A couple of strategy tips for this game. First, coordinate and move your choppers and jeeps so they can be used to protect each other. Avoid spacing choppers on alternate spaces, thereby making it more difficult for an opponent to jump more than 1 chopper at a time. And watch opponents' moves carefully, as air-to-ground angles can fool you. Well, this has been an overview of Chopper Strike. Chopper Strike is a very well-built game. It is a modular board, which it does have multiple 3D elements to it. So you have the upper air section and the ground section. I would rate this as a medium-level strategy game due to the fact that it has multi-levels to it. The game is very easy to pick up, very easy to learn, very easy to play. The rules are very straightforward. It is very kid-friendly. The game goes online anywhere from about $20 to $40, so it is relatively easy to find, and it doesn't have a lot of pieces to it. The 3D element of the game makes it real fun because you have to then focus on ground combat and air combat and vice versa. So it does have some nice strategic elements to it. The game board looks very nice. It has a very stratego tank battle-like look to it, but it is very nice for what it is. The choppers and the gun carriers have some nice detail to them, so the pieces are well built. If you haven't played Chopper Strike before, I would recommend taking a look at it. Like I said, it does play a lot like Tank Battle, so I would recommend taking a look at my previous video that I put out on Tank Battle. It has a lot of the same features to it. It does have great replayability, and you can actually reincorporate some of the Tank Battle rules into it if you want to make it an even tougher game. So I'd recommend giving that a shot. So like I said, if you haven't played Chopper Strike before, I would recommend playing this game. Well, that's it from us here at the Gamers Closet. We'd like to thank you for checking out our video on Chopper Strike from Milton Bradley Games. If there's a game in the future you'd like us to review or go over, please put it in the comments below. Please hit subscribe so that way you can be the first to check out our future content. And as always, please have a great gaming day.